Welcome, 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 America on this election day, historic election day.
Historic.
Aren't
I
they
went
all?
Hysteric.
They're all historic, all the election days.
I went with my wife today to vote.
Yeah, did she tell you what to vote for?
No,
She didn't tell you
No.
who to vote for?
no.
My
She
wife
just
told me
she
who to
just
vote for.
she just asked me which holes to fill
She
in.
said, I'll fill out your ballot. I said, no, thank you.
She was cheating off of my ballot.
Yes, everybody vote.
What show is this? Talking Stocks, right? Talking
Yes.
Stocks with Dr. J. Kamal and Spike. So
So,
what do
Dr.
you
J, how
want?
much
You
pain
want to
is
talk about the
there?
stocks or you want to talk about the Jets or election day?
I'm
No, we
telling
want
you.
to talk about the anticipated pain, short term and long term.
Well, as long as the Fed is doing QT instead of QE, I think we're all screwed.
That's right. And everybody's going to find an excuse to find good news tomorrow and then bad news by Monday.
Right, right. You can't, that expression, you can't fight the Fed. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it's true. But there are certain select places where you could make money. As Kramer says, there's a bull market. It's somewhere, no matter what, right?
It's five,
His
it's
job-
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. So I have three bios that I want to look at. I don't know much about the fundamentals, but uh, people want a
Mm.
different perspective. I'll give them a different perspective, technical perspective. It's xers, mreo, and pbyi.
Yeah, I'm
We've
still
looked
holding
at all of these
XCRS from a
in the
long time
past.
ago.
We've looked at them in the past,
Yes.
but pbyi I think is acting pretty well. I didn't look at it today, but it's jumped the last three trading sessions. Andrew says tandem really hurt him. Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It,
So
did,
we're
it
gonna
didn't
go
hurt
back in
me because that's one of the few disasters that I missed.
Lucky
Yeah,
you.
well, we had plenty of opportunity with Orinia.
Oh,
So,
DraftKings. I'm out of that a long time already, but still
yes. Lucid.
took my lumps on DraftKings. Dermtech, another one.
Thermatech.
Athersys. Today it got halved again
Oh, Athersys. Yeah, Athersys took a massive hit today.
because they're doing another raise, which was totally obvious. I knew they were going to, so I had very few shares. I sold off some of what I had bought at $1.40. So what I have left is about even with my recent purchase. I'll probably hold these, maybe add again. I don't know. It's tough to make money with the Fed doing QT instead of QE.
So, short term, do you think the outcome of the election, which I believe the Democrats will lose the House, I think the market might like that,
I agree.
Yeah, well,
and then may fade away.
I agree. They'll like it, but will it be enough for a sustained rally? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. It
those
will be
pods
short.
have no control over anything, including their own egos.
What we
So
really need
why would that be of any kind of
what we
consequence?
really need is to at least to the Fed to go neutral on QT. They don't have to do QE, but no QT.
Right. All they have to do is start saying that yes, what they're doing is working, even if they don't believe it. They just have to say it.
Yeah,
You just need to say some positive news that yeah, like Professor Spike said, that there is
the Fed
some
can.
benefit.
The Fed should have a very minimalist philosophy. Do just enough, just what you have to do, so that you don't get runaway inflation, and not nothing more, and do it in smaller increments. I'm not liking the big three quarters at a time hikes. It's liable to come back to bite us with a severe
Well,
recession.
if he rules the next one out and thinks that the increment should go back to 50 cents a piece, then maybe
Look,
we'll be right.
JP said, "Oh, I'm not worried if we overdo the tightening because we have tools to use if we do."
Yeah, okay.
In other words, we'll put the country in a severe recession, then we'll do QE.
Right. Then I'll be
What is
convinced.
this? A cycle of QE, QT, QE to QT?
Exactly. Is there anything called Q laissez-faire?
Yeah, that's right.
QL?
The old Lawrence Kudlow, leave everything alone type thing. But he didn't do that, did he, when he became Secretary of the Treasury?
No. No, he's another person who talked out of both sides of his mouth.
He was much better on CNBC than when he was a politician.
Right.
All right. So let's get to work. By the way, I looked at the Dow versus the S&P versus the Russell, and the Dow just looks so much better. The Dow 30 is leading this market rally, not the Nasdaq, certainly not the Nasdaq, not the S&P either. And although there have been days when the IWM has done well, it's basically the Dow.
Yeah.
Indubitably, let's wave back. Gentlemen, wave back at indubitably. Okay. All right, so let's present.
Indeed.
What shall we do first? SPY, IWM, DJI.
Well, DJ's your favorite, so go with that one.
I'll go for that third to show the striking difference. SPY looks good off the big green candle here that we had on 1013. To me, that was the start of the major rally. That brought us a great run in the month of October, continuing into November now. So there's nothing at all wrong with the picture here. That it looks very good. And the 12-day just crossed the 50. So for the short term, this is a strong rally. That's what this says to me. Short term, we're having a nice rally. Where it's going to stop, not sure. It could stop. This looks like a nice target to close this gap right up here. And that would be at 410.97. So that would be a nice target. Let me draw that in. I'm looking at 410 area, 409 area for a nice target, probably before we get any resumption of downtrend. So I think we have a bit more to run on the upside. IWM, very similar looking to the S&P, isn't it? Almost identical.
Yeah.
Has the S&P, has the IWM.
How come my stocks don't reflect this this up move?
You can hardly tell the difference. And this would be my target, right? Similar target right up here as on the S&P. I think before this ends, we're gonna refill this gap, which occurred on what date is that? Gap fill on 9/12. So before this rally is over, I think we're looking at something like 190 on the IWM. And finally, the best of them all has definitely been the Dow. You can tell the difference at a glance, I think. Let's go to the daily. It's even clearer. Right?
Yes.
IWM on the daily, SPY on the daily, Dow Jones on the daily. The diamonds definitely win. And in fact, they're very close. Here's my target, 34,152, which is not far away from the high of the year. What was the high of the year? Up here. No. Up a little higher. 1.5 was the high of the year. On January 5th, it made a high of 30, almost 37,000. So I think we're looking at targets up around 35.5 ultimately. But before that, we're looking at a target here at around 34,000. And before that, we're looking at this. We passed this target already. Okay. So 30. I drew in a bunch of lines. The first meaningful one, I guess, is this one, 34,281. Another 1,000 points at least. That would be a true test. We passed that. We're probably looking at another 1,000 points. The Dow looks good. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. That's the three indices. I don't even want to look at the Nasdaq because that has to be the worst.
Right.
But to give you an idea, Kathy Wood is always saying we're different. We're better than the Nasdaq because we don't just have FANGs. We have true innovative stocks. Let's just take a look at her RK. Just to get one more perspective. To see what she means, try to get a feel for what she's talking about.
Well, she's not having that upswing yet. Is this daily?
I don't see the rally. Do you?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So Kathy Wood is saying I'm down 75%. But that's nothing. We might go down 80% before we go up 120%.
Yes.
So over 5 years.
I'm waiting.
5 years?
I'm waiting.
Isn't she the one that always talks about a 5-year plan?
Yeah.
Our investors in for the long haul, she says.
Exactly.
5-year plan.
No,
By
that's
that
why
time,
the dogs of the Dow strategy will end up working in the long run.
well, she's not picking the dogs at the Dow. She's picking the dogs.
Dogs at the Nasdaq. Okay.
Yeah, the dogs at the Nasdaq. And let's take a look at the Nasdaq just to see the difference. QQQ, the one that she always ranks on. We're better than QQQ, says Kathy.
Yeah.
Well,
just a slight bit.
Maybe. The Nasdaq has been the least spectacular of the indices, but it's still a hell of a lot better looking than RK. So we don't have quite the same picture that we have on the S&P or the IWM, and certainly not the Dow. This has been the laggard index. But even so, this is a lot stronger looking than RK. RK, I think, is really for the brave at heart at this point, the true believers. I love Kathy, but I just can't buy her fund. Not yet, unfortunately. All right, so we looked at the indices just to get an overall perspective. So again, what do I think is going to happen? We rally at least probably into the end, into or near the end of the year, and then we have to face reality again. And if things don't look better on the CPI front, on the PCE front, on the inflation front, then I could see a continuation of the downward momo that we've had all year. We could have another rough year. Let's say we end the year at 410 on the SPY. I could see ending 2023 20% lower than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so depending on the inflation numbers, it's all about that. And it's all about the Fed and QT, QE. You want the E, you don't want the T, and I'll take neutrality. You don't have to sell into the marketplace, and you don't have to buy into the marketplace. Just stay the hell out. That's fine. You hear me, Jerome? Just stay out. Let laissez-faire capitalism. How's that? True laissez-faire.
Capitalism.
Yeah. All right. XERS. We'll start with XERS. Xeris Biopharma. And is there cause for optimism? Well, we've had a nice little bottoming process, as Professor Spike likes to say, over a period of about a week, 5 trading days. It looks like we put in a pretty good bottom here. And we ran straight up until 10/28, the end of October, up to $1.70. And now we've come back and we're retesting the $1.50 area. So this is now the line in the sand, the $1.50 area. On the upper end, we have to take out the $1.70. So let's draw that in. And that's going to tell the difference. That's whether we can cross the $1.70 or hold the $1.50. And that's where we are right now, between these two lines. And that's the story of XCRS. Could go either way. I like it. I like the chart more to the upside than I do the downside. I think it's going to hold this $1.50. So I think there's room at the very least for up to a 20-cent move or 12.5% pop back to the $1.70. If I were betting on this one, I would bet my target would be $1.68, and my stop loss would be tight. Let's say just below this candle, $1.45. $1.40, let's say. So I would look for 20 cents, risk a dime on this one. My thinking is more likely to the upside than to the downside, based on the chart. In my opinion. And let's look at the next one, MREO. I wanted to take a look at the fib numbers, and the 61.8% retrace did not hold off the highs. So it looks a little tough. Sledding looks a little tough on this one. Let's see what it did today. I don't think, is this the latest? No, this is 11:36 in the morning. Doesn't look much different, does it? So I would say probably more inclined to be neutral to short on this one for the near term. Again, long term is another story. And let's take a look at XERS one more time. I want to refresh because all of these charts I forgot to refresh. Same story on that one. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs are refreshed. All right, PBYI. PBYI has the nicest looking chart, actually, of all of the three of them. And this is a weekly. Let me go to the daily. Look at the daily on PBYI.
Little news.
This is 11:30, so let's see how it closed. About the same. PBYI looking good, but up against the tough resistance here at the 331 high from 825. This is a biotech it's an oncology play. I don't know much about them, but there had to be some news to propel it like this.
Right.
In the last 4 trading days, it went from 208 to 320 to a high today of 330. So it moved up $1.30 off of a $2 number. That's a nice little movie. It's 65% or so. Very nice. And congratulations to, I forget who tweeted it to me. It was tweeted to me Thursday night. So after this move, I suppose. So yesterday it had a continuation, and today a further continuation. Although it certainly found tough resistance here. It looks to me that like there's a good chance it's going to retreat further. If it can get above that 330, it's buy, buy, buy. Let's see. Let's look at where it could go to. Let's look at the weekly again. All right, so I drew the line right in here. Above 407 it has to get, and then it could first propel. But 407 might be a nice target, 405, $4. So that might be a nice target. If it can get past the 330, looking for 4. In other words, if it closes above 330, you could look for $4 on this number. And then if it closes above $4, you got a rocket ship potentially. So this one looks the most interesting to me of the three of them. All right, so that does it, unless somebody's asking for a particular chart. Anybody?
Yeah, I would like to go through Amazon.
Amazon. Amazon has been burning a hole in my pocket.
Yeah.
Losing a lot of exchange with Amazon. And it's lost favor. All the fangs have lost favor at this point.
I mean, it's really struggling there.
Really struggling to hold this $88 low, this pre-market low from about 2 weeks ago. Remember, struggling to hold that. Let's see how far out that line takes us for the horizontal line.
That one takes us to around just during the pandemic.
Yeah, 3/9/2020. The pandemic low is 81.30. That looks like where it's heading. It doesn't want to participate in the rally, the October rally that other stocks have been participating in. So it's sitting out the rally. And when things turn a little softer, it'll come down to that $81 level and test it.
Oh my God.
That's how it looks. Until we see signs of life, I wouldn't be adding to Amazon until it got to about $82. Then it might probably worth adding. But right now, you're looking at resistance at about the 61.8, which is 102. Yeah, that would be nice if it breaks that 100 again. But you got resistance at 102, and you probably have some support right in here at about the pandemic lows at about $80. So it's trading in the middle of what I suspect is to be support and resistance. So right in here on the lows, on the support, and probably right in here for about 100 for resistance, at about 80 for support, at about 100 for resistance. We're close to the middle, very close to the middle. In fact, I would say we were at the middle, right?
Yep.
Where 90 would be the middle. So depending on what your inclination is, you can get 10-point move one way or the other, probably quickly. If you think it'll participate in a post-election day rally, Santa Claus rally, if you will, then go long, at least for the 10-point swing. If you think it's got further down to go, then you can short it to $80 and cover. That would be my idea. Of course, our opinion strictly on do not constitute investment advice. Check with an advisor before acting. And
It's
please
really scary
subscribe.
to
This is a part of the show where we tell everybody to subscribe to the show, to the
Right.
channel, because I don't know why. Do you know why we want people to subscribe?
Because the conversations on the side are always fun,
Ah,
even if people are just commiserating.
I knew there was a reason. All right. So I don't want to leave the site. I just want to stop screen sharing.
So maybe next time we go over the cryptos.
Yeah, crypto killed me today. I took a bath on my MicroStrategy, on GBTC, on ETHE, on mreo, which I own again, and Coin.
Coin.
It's all because of FTX, right? FTX is having trouble with their coin. So, I mean, it's contagion. If one area of the crypto goes really bad, they all go kaput. So it was a Kaputski day, and I jinxed it because last time we were on, I said, "I'm marvelous. Bitcoin is doing it, not participating in the bear market move as much as I thought it would." So I definitely jinxed it. What's Jiggly have to say? Mark, I was talking football earlier because that's the only thing I've been winning in lately. Go Jets! I'm making jet money.
But
Jet money.
you're not betting millions of dollars on it,
I
right?
wish I were. DraftKings took like a huge hit. Some guy bet 75 million on the winner of the World Series, right?
I don't know.
I think I heard that $75 million bet. Not a small better.
They took the money.
Of course, it was distributed amongst several of the casinos. They couldn't cover one bet like that.
Right. Oh, the casinos have reinsurance also. They're not stupid.
I don't know when he bet it. He probably got odds. He probably got 2-1 odds, right?
I would imagine so.
So he probably made 150 million. So good for him.
Plus, they had to get that money back.
What is Andrew saying about PRVB?
Their announcements are coming.
I know Jiggly, weren't you in this one also? I think Jiggly was in this one. Yeah, they're losing money because they're giving away too much money. I agree. I'm talking about DraftKings. And Mark says the Jets are better than ATHX. I agree. Jiggly says the market makes me puke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to start playing Hold'em again. Go to the casinos and get the suckers. All the suckers. The tourists, I like to call them.
Tourists.
Sit down and donate. Donate to the pot.
All in.
I had one guy. I was in Las Vegas, and I was playing at was it Caesars? No, it was Bally's. So I'm playing poker at Bally's, and this tourist from somewhere, I forget where, rich guy sits down at my table and goes all in on every hand. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Money was no object. He kept getting more chips. So everyone at the table cleaned up.
Nice.
It was like a dream come true. He just wanted to give away money to whoever was at that table. And the few times that he won,
he left, everybody else left.
You want to know the funniest thing? The few times that he won, people didn't even call him.
That's funny. So he won the antes.
I don't think he won one big pot. He was just donating. All right, but I felt a little sorry for him, but totally not guilty for taking his money because he wanted to give it to me. So
People want to throw their money away.
yeah.
Fool and his money is soon parted, as
I
we
was
go
at
down
the
the
right
sidewalk.
table at the right time.
Yeah, I bet my money on the stock market and I lose it that way.
Jiggly, everyone's hurting, Jiggly.
Yes,
Kamal,
We're all
me,
hurting.
Spike, we're all hurting. The only ones who aren't hurting are the ones that are lying.
Yeah, the ones
I
who-
agree.
Yeah.
At least we're honest about it.
The liars are doing quite well. It's funny, the liars always win. But better days ahead. I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm really not worried. I think the Amazon's not going out of business.
No.
I'm really not.
No, it's not going out of business. It's just
Which
unexpected.
is what will it hit its 3,000 again.
It'll take, I told Kamal before the show, I think 5 years.
Wow,
Really?
that's a lot.
It's possible that before the fangs all hit new highs, could be a while.
5 years.
It's possible the fangs will be laggards in the forthcoming rally. That's how it's been, hasn't it? They've all been laggards.
Yes, they all. Apple, Google.
So why should it change?
Yeah.
Why should it change? You're going to have new leaders from energy, from financials, from biotech, maybe biodrec. I'm not sure where the next leadership group is coming from. Maybe Kathy Wood's stocks. We got to
Yes.
buy Roku and Teledoc and Zoom.
And Zoom.
Zoom, golly, Zoom. Kathy is losing her shirt and she's still smiling. So, all right, Tesla. What did he say about Tesla?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tesla's been. What is it? 188? I didn't look. It was under 190, I think. I should look.
191.
181?
191, I think.
191.
All right.
Pretty incredible. That's really 3 times 191, about 573. Pretty low relative to where it was. But who knows how much lower it can go, right? Maybe there's a glut with an EV at this point in time. I'd rather buy XPEV right now than Tesla.
Wow.
Right now, I would buy XPEV over Tesla. And they're both at extreme lows. But right now, I take a chance on XPEV. Adios, amigos. Ciao.
Bye.
See you all on Thursday.
Yep. Have a good night.
Go vote if you haven't.
Vote.
Bye-bye.